Okay, let's see if this is open. Hello, and welcome today to the stream. Yeah, I think I've been thinking about this for quite some time. Is the length of the stream really important to actually go all the way? Do I actually have to turn up 40 minutes? I think I watched some videos and I'm inclined to the truth that some people, like, if you see 30 minutes video live stream, that's not gonna happen quite a bit. Um, and maybe it actually becomes more intimidating to see my stream. So I'm gonna make it a bit shorter today and about what I want to talk about. And my primary challenge. So over the week last week, I had a lot of things that had to be done. We had a photo shoot. That was good. So photo shoot was one thing that was also really good. I met my old teacher for a while. Just tell them what I'm doing. See whether you can get any information. The ideas really are the most important thing to have in my stage, and ideas can come from anywhere, come from any age, any direction. Ideas make money, and really it's about execution, and really it's about execution to see whether, and translation of the ideas, that's the most important thing. And on the topic of translation, one thing I really want to talk about was that I done about if I it's on copy face the story and everything. Like, I've noticed that with a lot of people, with a lot of these agencies and like higher price agencies, it's never mechanical in nature of what they're trying to do. They have a story. The story is what they're selling, and because it's automatically assumed that that they can do the job. Why should anyone that's confident say, I'm a confident guy? It's like saying that it's like those people that say, oh my god, I'm so smart, I am smart. It turns out to be the dumbest person in the room. Okay, maybe that's a bad analogy, but you kind of get the idea. So what I've been trying to do for the past week is finding inspiration of story, and these type of things. I've come, like, my work and whatnot. It's not volume heavy, it's decision heavy and inspiration heavy, and it can come in flows and waves and everything. I don't really know. Sometimes it might even reveal itself in a dream. It could damn well reveal itself in a dream, and maybe that's happened. In which case, this time around, once we got a story, I really wanted to go back on the topic of Jellybear. I mean, like, our studio is named Jelly. That is a choice that was made before me, and my job is to really, right now, at this current point, is to say, okay, this jelly is gonna be worth $20,000 in your bank account. You gonna pay that or not? And actually, you automatically, your first instinct probably like, no, I wouldn't want to pay for a Jellybear. Why would I want? Why? And the question comes after this: why would I pay $20,000 for a Jellybear? Now, the thing is that you're not buying the Jellybear in general. Like, you could get a Haribo and it doesn't bring value to your life. It brings calories to your life, but it doesn't bring value to your life. But the idea of Jellybear, the actual idea of a Jellybear, let's have a look at how much it's worth right now. How much is the idea and patent of a Jellybear worth in estimate? So let's say we look for the copyright and patent value. I think it's a little bit more than that. I think it's definitely more than that. No, that's not what I mean. Like, if you had to estimate the value of the idea of jelly bears, what would you value it So, if someone had to estimate the value of an X of the Jellybear, the licensing, the trademark, the sales, the distinctness, the iconicism of a Jellybear, it's $1 billion. If I were to give you an idea like that and price it at 20,000, you would pay 20,000 for a jelly bear. So the reason really isn't that the jelly bear isn't the jelly bear by nature is dictated by the value of, like, say, dollar, like $2 depending on where you're at. But when you think about it, this particular candy is actually worth $2 billion because of how much it generates over time, how much real estate it takes inside your head, you know, and that's really what we're trying to communicate as well. Why our studio Jelly is that it's kind of like that in spirit. It's kind of like that. We're not selling. I always like to say, like, we're not selling web design or anything. Oh, yeah, I don't know the broccoli haircuts, but we're really trying to sell. Um, I guess if you're gonna sell a website, you say you're trying to sell a foundational engine for growth, for online growth. That's the first part, because that website really is your engine for revenue. And if your engine is tuned up well, you generally get output that's better, right? In which case, with a jelly bear, what I'm aiming for is, for lack of a better term, real estate in people's head. Hey babe, you hear that? But you want to hear this actually? One of my thoughts that came out of my head. If selling a website is essentially selling an engine, a foundational growth a foundational engine for online revenue, what is it then to sell a jelly bear? And what I'm saying is that if I were to aim to sell a jelly bear, what I'm really aiming to sell is real estate in people's head. You know what I mean? Because it's so iconic. Positive. I want to write this in my copy. Positive evocation comes with positive recollection. So that's definitely something that, okay, I gotta write it down. Write it down. Write it down. Patient is positive recollection. And our recall is really brand recall is pretty important, because what brand while we talk about the currency of attention, if we go in fundamentally deeper, attention can be really brought into several ways. Attention, the current attention and retained attention. And I suppose retained attention really is a brand recall. How iconic is that brand in light of in against its competitors? That's really quite important. Now with the jelly bear, it is so distinct. It is intentional design. You know, you recognize the jelly bear almost instantly. And what's the first thing that you feel when you recognize the jelly bear? It's nostalgia, because for the most part, it is culturally defined. Yeah, 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 yeah. Something along the lines of that. They're culturally anchored, culturally defined shape. Because, like, you know, when were you given a jelly bear? When you were a good kid. And most of them, I hope for many of people viewing this, that your childhood at least brings happiness. And at least when you were given a jelly bear, you were given it in a very happy moment of your life. I can't dictate that. And what the? Do you buy something, babe? So if I were to package a jelly bear by branding, that's what I would do. Is a jelly bear worth 20,000? Yeah, it is. It could be. It could very well be. Coca-Cola is a brand estimate. Coca-Cola is so iconic. That's real estate in your head. And real estate before you even know it. McDonald's too. So I think that, that's something I would be aiming for if like if I was asked a question like is Jellybear worth it? And right now my job is to build upon that. So what I've written down is the Jellybear is iconic. Soft but structured, transparent yet dense, small, informed but culturally recognized. But culturally recognizable. It's almost internationally recognizable. It takes you back to your past. It holds the color, invokes its color invokes sweetness. It is joyful by design. That's how we approach. That's how we approach our. That's how we channel our energy into our projects, and that's where we stand with it. And that's our statement, our mission statement. Really and truly is like that. Over here, now I got a team page as well, but it was interesting that I wanna. Oh my god, here's another brand that's currently living rent free in my head. Jujutsu Kaisen. I cannot stop with that. It's almost like a painkiller for me at some stage. But what I really like, I'll put it in. There's this opening. I get really inspired by this collages part of the opening. It's so cool. It says a lot about the identity of like the cast as well. And like I was like, why can't we do this for our team? Like some people, it says more than it shows more, and through showing it says infinitely more about it. You always got to keep in mind that transmission of information is difficult with text alone, especially if you want to accomplish it in about 5 seconds. But then there's the other thing about brand's anchoring to a real brand recall on real estate. I guess that's what real brands are really fighting for, and how they accomplish that is really difficult. So like, this is a tough one because most of these brands that have strong real estate value on people's brains are normally present when they are young. By observation. I remember one person saying you see life in two ways. You see life with sight and with insight. If you are blind, you probably see life in one way. And saying that, yeah. So if I would make an insight about it, like most of these brands come from exposure in youth, really truly exposure in youth.
It's not only the number one layer two,
Gucci and everything.
it's actually the
What
top.
the hell is this? What is this? I didn't click that. Do I try to enter my thing? So, thing about like they were present since you're young, all the way till you're old. Gucci is present in cinema. Gucci is present in real estate. Gucci is present in text and print and everything. So recall has some, but like now that we live in like quite a. I mean, is that Malaysia's controversial anti-corruption commission? Oh yeah, whatever. Malaysia's really corrupt. I'm Malaysian, so I get to say this. Been there and that. It's not nice. But how do we do that? How could brands have strong recall in the modern era? Where are they at? That's a question I want to ask myself. How can brands have strong recall in the modern era? Because like overexposure generally is not where you want to go, to be honest. Underexposure too. Logos are definitely a saturated thing right now. And where do we go from that? I think I'm gonna study up on that. But for the time being, I'm gonna stop this right now because I want to keep it more short and tight. As today's topic really was talking about, is a jelly bear worth $20,000? And yes, it is worth 20,000. It's worth 2 billion. That's how much you're marking out. How much further you can go. So I hope that gives you some good information and idea. And I'll see you guys around.